What is up, everyone? Welcome back to my channel. On today's video, we are back with another Hot Toys figure unboxing and review video. Today we are going to feature Dead Strange or Zombie Strange from the Multiverse of Madness movie. This is a figure, guys, that is not only exciting to me, but it's also very creepy and gruesome, and that might be my first and only time that I will do a figure like him on this channel. This figure is one that I will honestly confess I had no idea of purchasing it. Whenever he was released, I didn't pre-order it. I really had no thoughts of buying it since I wasn't a collector back in the day, but seeing the images that were released by Hot Toys, I felt like it was needed, especially for this channel, for me to go ahead and get this guy. So I did go ahead and purchase it, and I will confess I went ahead and got this guy from Pop Collectibles. Usually I use Sideshow as my main purchasing website, but Pop Collectibles did have the figure already ready to ship, and a big shout out to them. The figure was delivered to me in only 3 days, and honestly, big props to them, especially since they're an international company. It was a very fast service. Now, I do want to confess I'm still going to get my original figures from Sideshow just because of the pricing, and of course because it is locally here in the United States. But still, right, if you guys want to use Pop Collectibles, it is a website that I would recommend as well. I think both companies do a fantastic job of delivering these figures. So definitely very happy with their service for this figure individually. As before I do start with the video, as always, want to thank you guys for the continued support. For all of you guys who have been subscribing to my channel, it means the world to me. So with that being said, guys, let's go ahead and get started with the video. Okay, guys, so with the box itself, so this box is very wide. Now, as you guys can see, the theme of this box is going to be the same one as my Doctor Strange figure, the regular one from the movie. So as you guys can see, we pretty much have a gruesome image of that Strange in the middle, along with shades of red and blue, kind of like half blue, half red across the whole image. We have on those glass crystals that are broken, images of either Supreme Strange, Dead Strange, or just regular Doctor Strange. It looks fantastic, and of course we do have two images of Dead Strange on the right and left as well. On the right side, we pretty much have just the red shading along with the name of the figure at the very bottom, kind of like in a silvery color. On the back, we pretty much have again the same background as the regular Strange figure. So we have again those glass crystals that have images of different Stranges. So either the regular Strange, Supreme Strange, Sinister Strange, or just this Dead Strange. So it looks really good. On the left side, we have now a blue shade along with the name of the figure. So pretty much the same as the other side, but just different color. And then back to the front, on the bottom, we have the name of the movie Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Same thing at the top, but the difference is that we have the name of the figure along with the name of the movie and a black background, as we usually have for most Hot Toys figures. So this box, it looks really good, very gruesome. Love the imagery and love the color shading on the box. Okay, so with the second box, we pretty much have a clear image of the figure there and the front cover. On the right side, we have Dead Strange along with a kind of green shady smoke in the middle and a black background. On the back, we have pretty much the same poster like with regular Doctor Strange, but this time we just have images of Dead Strange along with the name of the figure at the bottom and kind of like a green smoke again in the middle. On the left side, the same thing as the right, the name of the figure, a black background, and kind of like a green type of smoke behind it. So pretty much that is all that we have for this secondary box. As you guys can see, very wide and really cool. Now we get to the figure itself. So the figure itself, again, as you guys can see, so wide the box and so many accessories that it comes to. I am very excited to go ahead and get this guy reviewed with you guys. Everything looks fantastic. So again, this is the second figure that I get from the line of figures of that movie. The third one would be Wanda, and she is not ready yet. But looking at this guy already, my God, he looks so gruesome and so disgusting. He looks scary. He looks fantastic and very movie accurate. As you guys can see, there are the scars and the skin and how pale he looks. He looks really good. Honestly, fantastic figure to start off. As you guys always know, these are my initial thoughts. So far, off to a good good start. Really can't complain much about it. We look at the back, the suit looks really good. It's nice to see a change when it comes to the color of the suit compared to the regular Doctor Strange. So right now, after a great start, guys, obviously we will take a look at the figure more in detail later on, but before that, we're gonna go ahead and take a look at the accessories. Okay guys, so with the accessories, as you guys can see, we have so many things to cover. This is the first time that I ever felt in a video that where I wasn't able to fit everything. Thankfully, I was able to. It took me a while to kind of organize these all of these accessories, but as you guys can see, the accessories are pretty much centered around the souls of the damned. As you guys can see, so many skeletons or skulls that this figure comes with, and we'll definitely touch them in detail. But first, the base. So the base, I actually have a small issue with the base because it's the same base as the regular Doctor Strange figure. I understand that the theme has to be the same because obviously the characters are from the same movie. But I mean, I wish the colors would have been a little bit different. Maybe if they would have matched the suit of That's Strange, that would have been fantastic, but they don't. Everything is completely the same. The only difference is, of course, the nameplate. It says That's Strange instead of Doctor Strange, with the same font as the movie. Now, it does come with this piece right here that goes connected to the base. That is where 2 of the accessories of the Souls of the Damned will go connected to. So obviously we will go over that a little bit later on in the video, and the parts that will go connected to that part are these parts right here. So this piece right here, it comes with 2 pieces like this. It's pretty much skeletons and skulls that are all kind of like joined together. Now I want to make it clear, the way that they're made, they look really scary and really good, but where Hot Toys did lose me is with the coloring. The paint applications, I feel like they're too glossy, and the coloring is kind of like brownish when they're supposed to be kind of like dark gray or kind of like a dead type of gray, if I can say it that way, and instead they look kind of brownish to me. And so I don't believe that the coloring was well done on these things. Again, they just look a little bit too glossy and too shiny for me. Now, as you guys can see here on the back, that hole right there, that's where that stick thingy would go attached to those pieces. Again, 1 for each side. Now we get to this part right here, which is absolutely massive. So these are pretty much arms, again, of the Souls of the Damned. This part will go attached to the back of Strange. We will go over that, of course, a little bit later on in the video as well. Right there, that is supposed to be the part that goes on the outside. Now again, the arms, as great as they look, and they look really scary, the coloring, I am disappointed in it. It looks way too glossy and too brown, when again it's supposed to be kind of like a dry type of gray coloring. So that's where they lost me. Now the arms are movable. You guys can kind of move them a little bit just to kind of set them in a different way, and it is well done. I do want to make it, I do want to be clear, the arms are very well done. It looks really cool, and honestly a fantastic accessory that they decided to include on this thing. But again, the coloring is kind of off. I'm really not satisfied with it, but again, don't want to make too many complaints about it. Again, the fact that it comes with this accessory is absolutely amazing, and I cannot wait to install this onto Strange. It's going to give the figure so much meaning, and it's going to look really cool. So that would be the secondary accessory of the Souls of the Damned. Now I went ahead and included the head sculpt because I wanted to go ahead and touch this a little bit more in detail. This head sculpt is absolutely awesome. As you guys can see, Hot Toys went ahead and did his normal hairstyle with his ponytail to the back, or his hair tied up to the back. The skin texture is absolutely awesome and scary. As you guys can see, it is completely pale. It has so many scars, and then on the right side it matches. You guys can see pretty much his gums, his teeth, his skin. It's so gruesome and it's so disgusting. The only thing that is kind of off is the hair piece in the front. Those 2 parts that go to the side, I feel like they're too long. I don't remember Strange having 2 pieces of hair to his left and right that are that long. So that's where Hot Toys kind of lost me, but everything else looks fantastic. Now we have these pieces of hands from the Souls of the Damned. These are going to go attached to that 8 arm accessory. Again, same thing. The coloring is too glossy and too shiny. It feels like it's melting in some type of way, so they look a little bit weird. Again, I'm glad that they included this on the figure. I do want to be clear because Again, you know, so many things that this figure comes with, but again, the coloring, again, it looks kind of brownish red, glossy, and that's not the way it's supposed to be. So that's kind of something that they missed. Now it does come with 10 different kind of head pieces or skull pieces, whatever you want to call it. One thing that I will give Hot Toys credit for is that each head sculpt or each skull is different in its own way. Some are a little bit longer, some have like horns, some don't, and it has some numbers to the back. We'll try to figure out if that means something. But again, I'm glad that at least not every single head sculpt is the same. Again, some have horns, some don't. These two right here, as you guys can see, they look kind of the same, but one has its mouth more wide open, the other one doesn't. So again, that is something that I will give Hot Toys credit. You know, they didn't use the same head sculpt, and to be honest, if they would have, I really would not have minded, because it would not have been that big deal to me. But again, they did go out and they did individual head pieces. So right now I do want to go ahead and review each of them, so that way you guys can take a look how many things this figure comes with. But again, for the 10th time, the color is just not it, right? Again, it's too brownish, too glossy. It looks a little bit weird, but what I will say is that these skulls are very, very scary. Now these head pieces are supposed to go installed onto the cloth. Now I'm not going to call it the cloth of levitation, because obviously for this figure it's a little bit different, but it does come with a cloth, with which of course we are going to go ahead and review a little bit later. But as you guys can see, once again, with these head pieces, again, very well done. Just the color application is the only thing. I'm sorry, just the paint applications is the only thing. But again, I'm glad that they included all of these things, because once we post this guy with everything, it's gonna look so freaking awesome, and I cannot wait for that. Now, one thing that I've always been a big fan of Hot Toys when it comes to Strange figures, because obviously this is my third figure for Strange, is the hand pieces. These hand pieces are very, very well done. As you guys can see, the skin texture looks fantastic. It matches the same color of the skin as its headpiece, and I love how the fingers look. The fingers look kind of bent and kind of broken. Obviously this is a zombie and a dead character, so the posing is like, it has the same kind of pose, but the hands just, the fingers look off, right? And that's something that I really appreciate, because again, I can tell that this figure is kind of shaky, kind of dead zombie looking ish, so that's really, really good. And again, the fingers just look fantastic. You guys can see it has scars on them. It has his suit also on the bottom part of the hand. It looks really, really well done. Again, I've always been a big fan of these hand pieces. So it comes with a total of 6, each with a different hand position, and for the first time we don't get close fists, so that is a weird thing, but to be honest, we don't need them. To me, we just need hand pieces where we can pose the figure with all those souls of the damned accessories. So now to the main event. So we get this massive and huge cloth. Again, I'm not going to call it levitation, because that's not, well, actually we could, because it technically levitates the figure, but as you guys can see, those holes right there, that's where the skulls are going to go connected. I would assume that pretty much you can just insert them any other way. I really don't see any numbers, like, you know, if each head sculpt belongs to each, you know, to a different part. But this thing is absolutely huge. Now I'm going to go ahead and open it completely. Hopefully you guys can see all of it. I'm obviously going to have to put this thing a little bit back so you guys can see the whole thing. I mean, it is super wide. Those 4 things in the middle are gonna those 4 kind of like holes or dots right there in the middle, they're gonna go connected to that 8-arm piece. So we will definitely go over that a little bit later on the video. But the cloth is very well done. It's scary. It looks really, really gruesome. It feels like a spider web type of material, but eventually the cloth is still very, very well made. So again, this is going to be it for all of the accessories. I cannot wait to install them onto the figure. Now with the figure, so to kind of get a more of a detailed look on this guy, so obviously we already reviewed the face sculpt, but once connected onto him, he looks fantastic. This figure is absolutely awesome. I cannot go with the word beautiful, because obviously it is a dead and creepy creature, but he looks great. He looks fantastic. The suit, it's honestly a pleasure to see a different colored suit on Strange. Now when we go to the middle, if you guys can take a closer look to his scars, I mean, you guys can see his skin and his bones and all of his kind of, I guess, meat, if I could call it that. And it looks so gruesome and so scary, and it's very, very well done. The texture and paint applications on the figure itself are amazing. This thing looks fantastic, and I can tell it's a zombie. I could tell it's a creature that's dead. We look into the back of the suit, it looks really, really good as well. I wish they would have done a normal Strange, for this specific character, who obviously was from a different Earth. But they only did the zombie Death Strange. They didn't really do an actual like normal figure. I would have loved to look at the whole suit in its totality, but in the end, everything looks fantastic. We get to the boots, and this is something that Hot Toys fixed compared to the regular Strange figure. So you can bend the boots, but this time you actually cannot see the joints from the feet and the legs, and that's something that I had an issue with the normal the normal Doctor Strange. As much as I love the figure, you could see its joints from the feet, and I really didn't like that. But with this figure, you don't. Now with the arms, pretty much you can stretch them any way. I would say they feel the same as the normal Doctor Strange figure. You can pretty much bend them easily up front and to the sides. That gives us, of course, options whenever we post a figure with all of his accessories for it to look really, really good. So no issues with the articulations of this figure. I feel like it moves pretty easily. I wish we could move it to places it's not supposed to move, because again, this is a zombie and this is a figure that it's dead. So I wish we could have moved it to like opposite ways, or turn them like to the back or something, make the figure look even more creepy than what it already is. But that's just kind of a thought that I had in my mind. That's not really an issue, right? Again, this figure is fantastic in its totality. The only issue that I have with the figure itself, not the accessories, but with the figure, it's just those hair pieces that are to the side. I don't remember Strange having the hair that long from the sides, but that's my only issue. Everything else is fantastic about the figure. It looks great, it looks scary, it looks gruesome. I am being honest when I say this. I have no issues with the figure itself. Okay, now a quick little side by side. So as I mentioned before, this movie Multiverse of Madness has 3 figures on its line. So we have the normal Strange with the 2 head sculpts, we have Death Strange, and we have Wanda. I wish they would have done some characters, especially from the Illuminati. I mean, they miss a lot of characters that they could have done Hot Toys. But for now, this is my second figure from the movie. As you guys can see there, we are comparing him to the regular Strange. I mentioned whenever I did my regular Strange that it was the best Hot Toys figure that I've received so far. I still feel the same way, but I gotta be honest, this Death Strange is a close second. Both figures have been fantastic so far, and Hot Toys has done a great job with this movie as far as the figures that have been released. Pretty much, if you make comparisons, the body is the same, the height's the same, the head sculpts are fantastically done. The one thing that I will give Death Strange that's better is, again, the boots and the way they connect. They feel better and more natural. And obviously the suits, they're completely different coloring but same style, and both look fantastic. The interesting part is that this figure doesn't come with an Eye of Agamotto, the Death Strange, but I cannot remember if it had one or if it didn't. To be honest with you, it's not an issue of mine if it doesn't, but both figures are fantastic. Great figures, love them both. Honestly, 2 of my top figures for sure that I've received from Hot Toys. And then my second comparison is going to be actually an interesting one. So I did Wanda. So I did the Wanda from the WandaVision show, because obviously that is the only Scarlet Witch that I have. Again, as I mentioned before, we are going to get a Wanda from the Multiverse of Madness, which I believe should be coming soon, especially since we already have the normal Strange and the Death Strange. But obviously, Death Strange fights Wanda in that last scene in the movie, and so I wanted to go ahead and make a quick comparison. Obviously, Doctor Strange is a little bit more taller. The bodies feel kind of look the same. Obviously, one is female, one is male, right? But just kind of wanted to compare them. The funny thing is that the coloring of the suits is very similar. So we have kind of red and black and a little bit of brown. So that's actually an interesting fact. But obviously, once we get the the Wanda from this specific movie, we will definitely make more appropriate comparisons. But just kind of wanted to kind of give a side by side with another Marvel character from another movie or TV series. Okay, so now we have the figure on its own, connected with every single accessory that it comes with. I do want to apologize quickly. I really would have loved to to do the whole process of installing the figure with all of his accessories on this video, but I will be honest, it was a very difficult process to do, and it's something that I would have taken me at least 15 to 20 minutes here during video, and I really don't want to put you guys through that. But I will at least let you know that, again, there's the figure. As you guys can see, the 8-arm piece goes attached to his back. The two accessories with the whole bodies and skulls from the souls of the damned are connected to the sides, and then pretty much all of the skulls are connected to the wings that are attached, or the cloak of levitation, whatever you guys want to call it, and that part goes attached to the 8-arm piece. So it's pretty much an easy process as far as how it goes connected. Now actually connected, that's the hard part. Some pieces fall off, some pieces aren't set up correctly, so it's kind of a difficult process. The good thing is that it always comes with a handbook, so that you guys have all of the instructions to go ahead and get this figure connected. But that's pretty much how it would go with all of his accessories together. And now with the posing, guys, pretty much this is the last part of the video. So even though I just mentioned that it was hard for me to go ahead and get this guy put all together, I can't lie to you guys, I had a lot of fun trying to get this guy put together. I mean, just look at him, he looks fantastic. This figure just looks so good. So many accessories, and it's a very unique figure, because we really don't get figures that are this wide as far as the clothes, and also, again, scary figures. That's a very random thing for us to get from Hot Toys or from Marvel, DC, Star Wars. I would say that the only scary figure that I had before him would probably be Green Goblin, but I mean, if you guys want to consider him scary, I mean, you guys can. I really don't. But this figure itself is scary. It's gruesome. I mean, just imagine if you waking up and seeing this guy the first thing that you see when you wake up in the morning and seeing this guy with all of his accessories. That's just the most random thing in the world. But again, the figure itself is really good. Again, so many accessories, and you guys have so many options when it comes to posing him. Again, as I mentioned before, the regular Strange figure from this movie is my favorite that I've received so far. But I gotta be honest, this is a close second. And now, comparing it to the list that I had of the top 10 figures that I was looking forward to this year, it's like, why didn't I put this guy? Well, I will confess, right? Again, I had no thoughts of purchasing this guy at that time until he was announced that he was ready to be shipped. That's when I was like, you know what? I need this guy. No questions about it. And no question, had I thought of purchasing it, before the year ended, I think I would have definitely put this guy on the top 10 list of the figures that I was expecting, just because of how unique it is and because of how different it is. Again, it is another Doctor Strange, but just the way that it looks is completely different to its regular form. Again, just so many great things about it. The only issues that I've said before are the hair piece. It isn't perfect, and again, the accessories of the souls of the damned, the coloring isn't the greatest, but the accessories are still scary. This figure's still scary. It's gruesome. It looks fantastic. So definitely no issues with that whatsoever. Before I do go ahead and end the video, guys, as always, want to thank you for the continued support. You guys have been subscribing so much lately, and my previous videos, especially the Batman one, was a very successful one. I saw a lot of you guys comment on it, and I just want to appreciate thank you guys for being so nice about the comments. So obviously a lot of you guys were negative about the figure itself, but you guys were, well, not negative, but you guys didn't really like the figure itself, but you guys still find a way to be respectful about it, and you guys gave your honest opinions, and I really appreciate that. And that's what I want on this channel. I want us to be honest. I want us to give our opinions about the figures, for us to share our thoughts. Same thing with this Strange figure. If you have any thoughts or anything that you like, that you want to add on that I probably missed, feel free to leave a comment, and I will always respond back, as long as you guys are nice and respectful about it. So definitely appreciate all the support that you guys give me every time. Again, if it is the first time that you are watching me, welcome to my channel. Feel free to like this video, hit the subscription button, and also hit the notifications bell so that you stay updated with anything that I will be dropping in the near future. Also guys, if you notice, I made a new logo or a new intro to my channel. Hopefully you guys like it. I feel like it's a little bit more creative, right? Eventually, as time goes by, we will definitely keep improving it. But for now guys, this is going to be it for this video. Definitely want to thank you once again for the continued support. Want to remind you that I am also on TikTok and Instagram. Feel free to watch the on the description of the video, the links are there, so feel free to add me there. I post images and shorter clips of these unboxings, and that's where I go ahead and post my updates about what I'll be dropping in the near future. So once again, thank you for everything guys. It means the world to me. I know that I owe you guys a collection tour. I promise you it is coming soon, but at this time I'm receiving a lot of figures, so I feel like that's a little bit more important for now. But eventually I will get to that collection tour. We're very close to the 500 subscriber mark, and it means the world to me, everything that you do for me. But once again guys, this is it for this video. Thank you so much for the continued support, and I will see you next time.